Hey viewers and friends, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. It's a rather cold day here in Australia, all rugged up, even got a new hat this morning which I think is pretty awesome. I've been wanting this style hat for quite a while, so glad to finally own one. It is update time once again. Yep, not very nice outside, so I'm all rugged up inside and I thought might as well spare a bit of time to do another update. I wasn't actually planning to do one until the end of next week, but I did pick up a few things from BigW. Now BigW are having a really good sale at the moment up until the 29th of this month, I believe, and they're doing buy two get one free DVDs and Blu-rays. Really good opportunity to pick up some new release titles for a relatively cheap price. I picked up 8 movies all up and it worked out to be about $13 a film, which was really good because some of these movies on their own were $20 to $25 each. So, you know, I saved a good $10 or roughly 10 bucks on a lot of these films. So, yeah. And we're going to get started. So I'm going to do the non-horror ones first and then get into the horror. So first up is a trilogy set, and it is the Beverly Hills Cop 3-movie collection. I haven't seen these movies in ages. In fact, I'm not even sure if I've seen the sequels. I've definitely seen the first one and can remember having a lot of fun with it. Can't remember the sequels. I may have seen them, I may have not, I'm not sure. But for the price I definitely wanted to pick this one up, and pretty nice set. It comes with the movies on their individual discs, which is great. So looking forward to getting into this one. It's been a while. The next one I was really happy to pick up, and that is War Horse, Steven Spielberg's latest movie. I've been wanting to see this one for ages now. In fact, I was almost going to see this one in theatre, but I didn't get around to it. Not one of Steven Spielberg's best movies in my opinion. I'd probably put it around sort of middle range in terms of his movies for myself. Still really good. In fact, it was a great film and it definitely had that Steven Spielberg classic feel to it. For those who aren't too familiar with it, it's about a horse that gets sold to a soldier during World War One. The previous owner, a teenage boy, isn't happy the horse was sold. He enlists in the army in the hopes of being reunited with the horse. Really good storyline, great characters, and there's some fantastic war sequences, pretty heartfelt and touching storylines. So War Horse, if you are a Steven Spielberg fan, I definitely recommend it. The next one is another Spielberg movie, and this one's been out on Blu-ray for a few months now, but I finally picked up Schindler's List. This is actually one of my favourite movies from Spielberg, and you know, I consider it to be fairly underrated in terms of a Spielberg film. Fantastic movie, and I'm glad that this finally got a Blu-ray release. I haven't checked it out on Blu-ray yet, but I've seen the movie quite a lot, and yeah, I love it. I think it's a fantastic war movie. Nice set. This is the 20th anniversary edition. Comes with a slip cover and a collector's book, so can't wait to check this one out on Blu-ray. Alright, moving on to the horror titles. I had to order these online because my BigW store is pretty terrible in terms of horror titles, but I've got to say their online is fantastic. The website is really easy to use. It's got a really good selection of movies, really good prices on a lot of them too, and super fast shipping. I ordered it on last Wednesday, and they arrived Friday, so they arrived for this weekend. Yeah, I love their online. The first one I ordered from the online is The Day. This is one that I have been wanting for a while now. It was a blind buy, so I didn't want to pay too much for it, but for the price I thought it was worth it, and it certainly was. I really enjoyed this one. It is fairly generic though, and it could have been a lot better, but this is a survival horror post-apocalyptic movie about a group of 5 survivors who are sort of on the road, and they come across what they think is an abandoned farmhouse. One of the 5 characters is really sick, so they decide to rest up, and while they're searching for supplies and food, they set off an alarm which triggers a group of cannibals to attack them. You know, pretty generic. What post-apocalyptic film does not have cannibals in it? Honestly, you know, despite the generic theme to the movie, I did really enjoy this one a lot though, and I definitely would recommend it. The only issue I had with it is it almost didn't really feel like a post-apocalyptic film, because that sort of theme was not really explored. I kind of wish that they'd slowed down the movie a bit and spent more time developing the characters and the post-apocalyptic world that they were in, rather than spending the majority of the time with the cannibals trying to attack them. I will say though, there's some awesome action sequences in this one, some fantastic kills, and some awesome blood effects. It's not really gory, but some fantastic kills. So if you're into these sort of movies, I would definitely recommend The Day. The next one is American Mary. I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I've done a fairly in-depth review on that, so if you want my thoughts on American Mary, please check my review out. All I'm going to say for this update is that the first half was fantastic. The second half was very disappointing. You know, this movie could have been so much better than it was, but yeah, unfortunately the second half really killed it for me. I would still recommend it. I don't regret picking it up. I'm going to keep it and give it another rewatch. For the first sort of 40 to 45 minutes alone, it was worth it. But yeah, just unfortunately the second half was pretty terrible. And last, certainly not least, the title that I was most excited to pick up is The Collection. Quite a lot of you have been picking this one up recently. Now this is a sequel to The Collector. I'm a massive fan of The Collector. It's one of my favourite modern horror movies of all time. I love it, and I had very high expectations going into this one, and I've got to say it did not let me down. I thought this was absolutely fantastic, an awesome sequel. Probably not quite as good as The Collector in my opinion, but still, you know, in terms of a sequel, it was fantastic. Probably one of the highest body counts in a horror movie that I've come across. There's some awesome traps in this one, some fantastic gore effects, some awesome kills. If you're a fan of the first one, The Collector, I would definitely highly recommend the sequel. It was fantastic and definitely a great follow-up. Really enjoyed this one. Just a whole lot of fun and very fast paced from beginning to end. So The Collection gets my highest recommendation and is probably my recommendation of the update. Fantastic movie, loved it. Alright, so there you go guys, that is my update. Definitely let me know what you think of the movies I've picked up. If you've seen them, let me know which ones that you like. And guys, if you live in Australia, definitely check out the BigW Buy 2 Get 1 free DVD and Blu-ray deal they've got going on at the moment. It is a really good time to pick up some titles, especially newer titles. And yeah, so until my next update, which will be at the end of next week or next weekend, hope you've enjoyed this video and thank you for watching.